Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira is going down tomorrow night, guys. I don't think y'all understand just how massive this fight is. This is the literal definition of a legacy fight. Can Ilia Topuria knock out 3 fan favorites in a row, or can we get one of the most wholesome moments in UFC history, and that's Drew Bronx winning the title once again? Guys, I don't think y'all understand, bro. I don't think you're wrapping your head around it. I don't think you're comprehending how big this event is. Also, am I the only one that thinks that maybe Dana White and the UFC, I'm not going to say did a poor job at promoting this fight, but I feel like they could have done better. I don't know if it's just me. I feel like Dana's too focused on Canelo. I feel like we could have done a little bit more promotion for this fight. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just hating. I don't know. But guys, oh my gosh. Can we get Charles Oliveira and Volkanovski both in the same year, both reclaiming the title in a vacant title fight, guys? Are things starting to sound nostalgic? Are things sounding familiar? Is Charles going to do it? Is he going to repeat what Volkanovski did? I don't know, man, because there's a big difference here. And Ilia Topuria is not Diego Lopez. Or should I say Diego Lopez is not Ilia Topuria. But guys, Ilia Topuria, if he wins this fight, which is a very tall task, Charles Oliveira, one of the most dangerous fighters in UFC history, big if, by the way, if Ilia Topuria does get it done, this man's a top 10 fighter of all time. I think he's already pretty close just because I know the quantity's not there. But bro, the quality, if this man goes out there, beats Volkanovski, Max Holloway, and Charles Oliveira back to back to back, I don't care how many title wins you have, even if he only has 3. That is the best 3 wins. You cannot name me anybody that has 3 better wins than that. And I don't even think it's close. The next closest would be Islam with Charles and Volk. And then Volk again, I guess, but that one's kind of iffy. But bro, not only on the side of Ilia Topuria, y'all don't understand how big this could be for Charles Oliveira's legacy. If he reclaims the title, the lightweight title, first of all, I don't wish this would happen. I don't know if I'm ready for this day, but if Charles wins the belt, bro, I'm not gonna lie, this would be a fairy tale ending for Charles to retire. Y'all know he's making a movie. He has a movie coming out. This could be the perfect finale if Charles Oliveira gets it done, beats this undefeated Ilia Topuria, who has this unbeatable aura about him, and Charles does it again, shocks the world. Oh my gosh. That's cinema, bro. That is cinema. Storybook ending. Obviously, I'm not ready for Charles Oliveira to retire, guys. I don't know if I could take that. It would get really emotional. I think it would be ugly tears coming from my face. But guys, I know I keep saying this, but it's not Ilia versus Islam. I understand that. But it's the next best thing, bro. Stylistically, this fight is so very interesting. Ilia Topuria, best boxer in the UFC, against one of the best grapplers in the UFC, probably the best submission threat. You can still argue Islam or even Hamzat, but you get my point, bro. Can Ilia Topuria deal with the grappling of Charles Oliveira, and can Charles Oliveira deal with the power and the precision of Ilia Topuria? There's so many questions, guys. This also feels very familiar to Conor McGregor, okay? We've seen the similarities with Ilia Topuria and Conor McGregor. Undefeated at featherweight, wins the featherweight title, knocks out the featherweight goat of the time, moves up to lightweight. The thing is, when Conor moved up to lightweight, he did win the lightweight title. So that's what I'm scared of. But it feels similar in a way to Conor versus Nate Diaz. Now, I know Charles Oliveira, first of all, is miles ahead of Nate Diaz, in my opinion. But at the same time, this is not Ilia Topuria jumping from featherweight to welterweight. It's from featherweight to lightweight, which in itself is already a big jump. This is the big question. You know, when we saw Nate Diaz fight Conor McGregor, Conor did not have that same sting on his shots that he did at 145. But at the same time, it's hard to judge because Nate Diaz also has a granite chin, great gas tank as well. Does Charles Oliveira have the same chin of Nate Diaz? I don't think so. But with that being said, are we going to see something similar to Ilia when he jumps to 155? Maybe his power just feels like a Justin Gaethje. Maybe it feels like a Dustin Poirier. And if that is the case, we've seen Charles take Dustin and Justin's best shots, potentially, maybe not best shots, but some good shots from them. And he got dropped, but he did not get finished. And he came back and won the fight. Now, that's a big question in this fight. Is Ilia Topuria's power going to translate? I think it will. Maybe he won't have the same effect at 145 or at 155 that he would at 145. But at the same time, if Ilia Topuria were to go out there and drop Charles Oliveira early, If he does not jump on the finish, is he making a mistake? I mean, we've seen it time and time again. Gaethje drops Oliveira, does not jump on a finish because they're worried about his ground game. Same thing with Dustin, I believe. Is Ilia Topuria going to do the same thing, or is he that confident in his ground game? I think Ilia Topuria has a next level of confidence. I think he's going to jump on Oliveira and try to get the finish if he does drop Charles, which is pretty likely. If I had to guess, it would be minus odds for Charles to get dropped at least once in this fight. But if Ilia Topuria does jump on him, I don't know, man. As an Oliveira fan, that's a scary thing because we've seen Ilia Topuria generate enough power to knock Ryan Hall unconscious from the ground and pound. So if I'm a Charles fan, I don't want to see that. But if he does let Charles Oliveira up, it's basically giving him another life. I know Ilia Topuria, you know what? I think Ilia Topuria is a better striker than Gaethje and Poirier. But again, if you're giving Oliveira these extra lives, if you have to put him unconscious to win and for him to stop moving forward, I don't know, man. That's risky. Charles do Bronx Oliveira has the tools to win this fight, guys. I don't understand how he's a plus 340. Now, that is wild to me. However, I do believe Ilia should be the favorite. But plus 340 to one of the most dangerous fighters in UFC history, guys. I'm not giving betting advice right now. I'm just saying. I don't know, man. And the thing is, I even made a whole video breaking down this fight. I said that Charles Oliveira should use the teep kicks, which could be beneficial, and try to stay away until he can clinch up. I'm taking all that back, bro. I am taking all of that back. I think Charles Oliveira's best chance to win this fight is to go pedal to the metal, fight in the fire from the opening bell. Yes, I know that might sound dumb to some of you because Ilia Topuria has crazy power. If you fight in the fire with Ilia Topuria, if you fight in the pocket with Ilia Topuria, there's a good chance you're going to get caught because he's got insane boxing. I know it might sound dumb, bro. I think it's his best shot. If Charles Oliveira wants to try to pick apart Ilia Topuria from range, he's going to get chinned. Ilia Topuria is too good on the feet. Max Holloway tried the same thing, but Charles Oliveira is not the same rangy striker as Max Holloway. However, this is why this fight is so interesting. Max Holloway is a similar build to Charles. He's similar height, at least. But Charles Oliveira has a 5-inch reach advantage on even Max Holloway. And also, I think Oliveira is physically stronger than Holloway, and he's a little bit thicker. So, how is this fight going to play out, guys? I really hope we see some grappling exchanges in this fight, because if Ilia does just go out there and chin him in round one, first of all, he's one of the greatest fighters of all time. But second of all, I'm going to be a little disappointed, to be honest, because I really want to see Topuria's grappling tested at the highest level, and Oliveira is the highest level. I know he's fought Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell's not Charles Oliveira. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I think Oliveira's best chance is to move forward like he says that he's going to do, try to clinch up Ilia Topuria, and honestly, again, maybe it's going to sound like a casual take to some of you guys. I don't think pulling guillotine's a bad idea. I really don't. Charles Oliveira try to grab a hold of Ilia Topuria, maybe clinch him up against the cage, land some knees, try to get to the back. Obviously, that'd be the ideal situation. I don't think that's going to be easy. Ilia Topuria is going to be smaller. He's going to be hard to take down. If Charles Oliveira needs to jump on the neck, needs to lock up a front headlock position, roll for a Darce, roll for an anaconda, jump for a guillotine, bro, that's not a bad idea. I think Charles Oliveira has to take a lot of risks in this fight, because if it's just pretty, if he's just fighting trying to be all technical, he's going to get knocked out. He's going to lose. And the thing is, I believe in Charles Oliveira. I don't want to count him out ever. I don't think anybody should ever count out Charles Oliveira. I don't care who he's fighting. But there's one thing, bro. There's one reason why I cannot pick him. And I'm serious. It's nothing stylistically. It's because of the unbeatable aura that Ilia Topuria has, guys. I know I'm going to be the first one to admit it, guys. I don't have the balls for it. I don't have the balls to pick Charles Oliveira. As much as I'm rooting for him and I want him to win, there's something about Ilia Topuria that just will not physically allow my body, allow my mind, allow my mouth to proclaim that Ilia Topuria is going to lose, bro. Not until we've really seen Ilia Topuria in trouble. I know you're thinking, oh, but Jai Herbert dropped him, bro. Stop. Not until we've really seen Ilia Topuria on the verge of losing, or losing in general. Guys, he has the same thing that McGregor has. When McGregor was at his peak, he had this unbeatable aura. Nobody was picking against McGregor, bro, unless you're trying to be different. Even if you were picking against him, in the back of your mind, You didn't even believe it. But anyway, guys, I don't think you understand. This is such a big fight. This is such a big fight. If Ilia Topuria gets it done, he's going to transcend. Oh, there's the vocabulary word for the day. He's going to transcend his superstardom to a whole nother level. He's going to have finished Volkanovski, Holloway, and Oliveira back to back to back. And then if we want to look to the future, again, not a great thing to do in mixed martial arts, but if he goes and fights Islam after that, guys, I don't think y'all understand the type of level of super fight that will be. But once again, you cannot count out Do Bronx, bro. You can never count out Do Bronx, guys. I just wanted to come on here and rant about how good this fight is. I really, really, really hope we get to see some grappling sequences in this fight, bro. A lot of questions are going to be answered in this fight, I believe. And if Charles Oliveira gets it done, this might go down as one of the best years in UFC history, at least for me. Maybe I'm biased just because Volkanovski reclaiming the title and Charles Oliveira reclaiming the title, bro. Come on. Absolute cinema. But anyway, my heart's going with Charles. My brain is going with Ilia Topuria, bro. I cannot poke through the invincibility of Ilia Topuria, bro. I just cannot do it. Shout out to everybody picking Charles Oliveira, man. I wish I was with you. My heart wants to go with you guys. My body just will not follow. But anyway, guys, enough with this rant. I hope you enjoyed the video, man. Hit the like button down below. Hit the subscribe button. Comment your predictions for this fight down below. But I appreciate y'all once again. Oliveira, please. Please, for my sanity, man. Please get it done. But that's going to be it for me, guys. And we out.